What's up, guys? I should have done some push-ups before this. Looking a little small, aren't I? I want to come back with another video. This time I want to talk about what no one told me about being a skinny guy trying to bulk. Section 1, the unspoken struggle, aka the problem. If you're young, if you're a skinny guy, if you're like a dude who's trying to stay natty, you've been grinding in the gym, you've been eating right, you've been hitting your calories, but you're still not seeing results. It's not just physical, there's a mental and emotional battlefield that no one talks about. What is my experience? Well, for years, that was me. I grew up skinny, I grew up a skinny kid. People made fun of me. I felt weak. Sometimes I even felt invisible. I was deeply self-conscious about it. I didn't like going to the pool because I was so skinny. And, I know that feeling. I know what you're going through if you're a skinny young dude too. Don't worry. I've gone from underweight to overweight. I've been super fat and I've been super skinny, and I've been both of those things multiple times. In other words, I've been able to consciously control my weight up and down as I choose. I didn't get fat on accident. Well, actually I did, but I was able to lose weight as I pleased and put on weight as I pleased. So 15 years as a natural lifter. I've got over a decade of personal research. I've coached skinny guys to put on muscle, and I've done that countless times. I've taught them how to lift. I've taught them how to eat. I've taught them about nutrition, recovery, diet, everything. I've taught them about optimization, progressive overload, you name it. So, the revelation, a dog scratching her bed. What is my promise to you? I'm going to lay down the bare, unspoken truths about mental and emotional toll of being a skinny guy trying to bulk. These are typically insecurities, sometimes social pressures, and silent struggles that oftentimes no one even tells you about. And what's the goal of this video? It's to show you, it's to show how addressing these factors is often more powerful than any workout, exercise, or diet. It's all about your mindset. The plan. I'm going to share some uncomfortable truths with you. It's about crushing insecurity, silent social pressure, and the motivation burnout. And the overall goal is to reveal how the right mindset plus the support of a community is a true game changer. And real quick, how my program delivers that. If you are ready to conquer these challenges, I offer a complete A to Z system that covers mindset, training, nutrition, and direct coaching also. If you're interested in that, I'll put a link in the description below. You can find a free training. You can schedule a one-on-one strategy meeting with me for free. We can talk about what's working for you, what's not working for you, or maybe some things you feel like you want to change. We can also talk about access to my private school community, as well as my comprehensive fitness program that I mentioned earlier. Covers A to Z. This is nothing. I could write a whole page about what's included in the program. It's literally built specifically for skinny natural dudes just like you. I used to be a young natural guy. Well, I'm still natural, but I used to be a young skinny guy. I had no muscle, and I wanted to put on natural muscle, and I have. So I've been there. I've been in your shoes. Truth number 1, crushing insecurity. This is about the constant battle with your own reflection. The problem. No one really tells you how bad this is. It's about feeling fundamentally less than. It's a constant comparison. You are constantly looking at people who are bigger than you, and you constantly worry about your own, about the perception of how other people see you. This is super bad for your energy, and it's also going to kill your motivation. So, what's the solution to this? It's to acknowledge feelings without judgment. You need to be able to shift your focus from outcomes to effort and process. Celebrate small wins, track your strength gains, prioritize consistency. Build self-compassion, understand transformation takes time. It's not just an overnight thing. And you need to be able to actively challenge negative self-talk. In other words, if you catch yourself calling yourself skinny or a twig or something like that to your friends, like, yeah, I'm the skinny guy, you need to cut that out. It doesn't really help you. My personal story, I didn't like clothes shopping because I felt like everything looked big on me. I didn't like going to the beach or the pool because of people making fun of how skinny I was. I realized I had to value the process over the outcome in order to break free from that. So, quick solution to that, my program includes a dedicated skinny guy mindset module that's literally designed to literally dedicated to mindset and helping you get rid of those self-limiting beliefs. Truth number 2, the silent social pressure. So what's the problem with this? No one tells you about the social pressure. Everyone always has an opinion and they always think they know the solution. It's always typically with skinny young guys, it's just eat more, bro. You're not eating enough. You need to eat more. That implied doubt from your friends and family who've seen you try before takes a toll on you. You get that day in and day out. You get that at social gatherings with your friends or your family, and they're constantly calling you skinny. You hear that enough times, you might start to believe it, and you might start to think that you can never change. So, real quick, what is the solution to this? You need to learn how to filter external noise and trust your chosen plan. You need to develop thick skin against unhelpful comments because they don't do anything for you, and a lot of those times, those people are just being losers because if someone only has negative things to say, they're probably a loser. You need to ignore those people. You want to surround yourself with people who support your goals, not doubt them. My story, explaining my diet to my friends felt like a constant judgment. I tried to tell people my goals, and a lot of times they would shit on me. Sometimes you got to realize that your circle isn't equipped to support you. And in my certain case, I had to find a different kind of support. Real quick, my solution: my school community provides exclusive access to like-minded guys who are just in your shoes too. They understand your goals, and a lot of the times they have the same goals as you. Okay, truth number 3, the motivation burnout. And this is about when consistency feels like a job. What's the problem here? The problem is that a lot of people don't tell you how hard it is to stay motivated. They don't tell you how hard it is to go to the gym every time you have a gym day. Every time you wake up and you gotta go to the gym, sometimes you dread that. People don't often tell you how much it sucks. And, once you start getting into the gym and you start building that habit, sometimes the initial hype wears off and it starts to feel like a chore going to the gym. That definitely happens to me all the time, but I have plenty of ways to switch it up that have worked for me over the years. Also, that volume of eating and training can feel like an endless uphill battle. When you're trying to put on size, you really got to eat a lot and you got to eat your calories. And for some people, that's really hard. Missing a day can often turn into a week and you feel like you've lost your progress. This burnout will attack your will, and if you don't know how to manage it, it will ruin all your gains and all your goals. So what's the solution here? It's to shift from relying on motivation to building actual real-life discipline. And this discipline doesn't just apply to the gym. If you learn to discipline in yourself, I've always felt that if you can get gains in the gym, you can do anything, because waking up to show up and literally throw weights around is hard work, and it's not easy. So if you can do that, I believe you can do anything. You need to be able to set clear, achievable short-term goals, implement consistency systems. This helps making show up non-negotiable. You need to be able to include the right recovery protocols, physically as well as mentally. So I've got a ton of different recovery methods that I prefer, but it's different for everybody and everyone has their likes. And you need to have accountability in yourself. And I don't just mean holding yourself accountable. Sometimes it's easier when you have a supportive community around you that can hold you accountable as well as have you hold them accountable. So my story behind this, there's definitely periods where eating or going to the gym felt like a punishment. That mental fatigue can sometimes lead to me falling off for weeks or even months at a time. I've burned out pretty bad where I've taken months off the gym, and it sucks trying to get back into it. If I just had the right discipline and motivation system, I would have pushed through that burnout, and I would have learned the right methods that would have kept me in the gym. Therefore, I would have lost as much progress as I did. So, quick summary. You've learned the unspoken truths about crushing your insecurity, how silent social pressures can affect you, and as well as motivation burnout. These are fundamental barriers that you need to learn to get past if you really want to do this. If you want to succeed in the gym and finally put on real, actual, good sized muscles like a skinny young dude, you need to learn to get past these things. And I'm just here to remind you that you don't have to fight these battles alone. There are plenty of communities like mine around there that are out there that are willing to help. So if any of that sounds interesting, or you feel like my community could help you, check out the link in the description below. Down below, I offer a quick training / strategy meeting where you can meet with me one-on-one, and we could talk about your goals. We could talk about your failures and what hasn't worked for you in the past, and maybe I could help you with your goals in the future. So if that sounds interesting, like I said, hit the link in the bio below. If not, feel free to like, comment, subscribe on this video. Plenty more videos to come out. Peace out, guys. See you on the next one.